What's up everybody, my name is Justin and welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Tears. And on today's video I'm doing a bottle that I've had for maybe 8 months now, but just haven't quite gotten around to trying it. So we're going to try it in today's video and we're going to rank it on the tier system. Today we're doing a little bit different bottle. We are doing Mountaineer blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. Okay, so Mountaineer, here is what I know about this bottle overall. It's a couple of friends out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, who wanted to make their own whiskey bourbon company, and they wanted to have something that they could take with them out on their adventures, either skiing, hiking, snowboarding, anything that they can take on the outdoor adventures that they take. So that's kind of the idea behind it. It says it's a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys and high rye additions, and it's 2 and 4 years, sourced in Indiana, so it's MGP. Beyond that, there's not a whole lot of information that I found about it other than the unique bottle. And I want to rate this bottle in 2 different ways because I really like the labeling and the shape of the bottle overall. I think it looks really nice, but I just hate this style of topper. And I get why they're doing it because it's literally meant to take on the road with you, be thrown in a backpack, and it can slosh around and not worry about the cork breaking or coming off or anything like that. So I get the idea of it. I just think it looks cheap. I'm not a huge fan of it, but the real question is the whiskey inside any good? It's coming in today at 97 proof, 48.5% alcohol on this elevated whiskey batch 21-01 from Mountaineer. So we're gonna try it in this video. Let's see how it is. Okay, so I apparently never popped this bottle all those months ago. Ooh, I don't even know how to do this great with this popper thing. So we'll see how this works because this is gonna be a little bit different than the normal cork pop. So it's kind of anticlimactic if I'm being honest. Came off very easily. I hate all of this extra junk going on here. And so it probably goes on and seals rather easily as well, I would think. Oh, it's got a little notches it's got to go in. Hold on. It's got little notches right in the side of the glass there. Okay. So that's what it goes into. How the hell do you reclose this thing? Maybe I got to put it in the hole first and then put the things in there. Yeah, not a huge fan of this. Not a huge fan of how this thing actually operates. It's easy to take off, so I don't even know how well it would actually stay on in a backpack. Maybe I just suck at it, but overly not a big fan of that topper at all. But let's nose it out of the bottle as I like to do and see what we're getting. Syrup, like pancake syrup. Some vanilla. It actually smells decently good considering it's a blend of 2 and 4 years, so officially a 2 year. It's definitely maple syrup for pancakes, like syrup on pancakes. A little bit of vanilla whipped cream, and then a pretty big dash of caramel on there. So let's do the pour and see what we're looking like. All right, color is pretty light to be expected from a younger whiskey. So it's pretty light, pretty yellow, and pretty see-through almost in certain points. But we'll see how it is once we taste it. Let's nose it out of the glass. You definitely get like a, you get like a toffee, like a maple syrup toffee, kind of like one of those crumble cookie candy things that they make, kind of one of those. Some butterscotch in there. Almost like a, kind of like a buttery pancake with maple syrup on it. So it actually smells pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it does smell decently good. It smells like, a really hearty pancake breakfast. With the whipped cream on there, some caramel. It smells pretty good, so hopefully it tastes good. Legs are okay. Let's go ahead and try this one. My first impression is it's a little dull. A little dull on the first impression. What's the proof? 94, right? 97 proof, so not super low, but definitely not super high. You definitely get the toffee flavors in there. You get some bitterness in there. You get the lingering of the caramel. Unfortunately, you don't get a whole lot of the breakfast flavor carryover from the nose that was on there. You don't get really any of the pancakes. Maybe a little bit of butteriness on there. I think there's a little butteriness on there, but it gets in there and it gets a little bit bittery after the initial taste. What it does is it leaves a very nice flavor on the front of the tongue, which is that toffee, some caramel, and the buttery sweetness. That's nice up on the front of the tongue, but it gets real bittery as it goes down towards the back, which I don't love, but it's not bad. It's just there. And it's kind of just, I guess, expected from a younger whiskey. Yeah, I mean, it tastes young. That's the main issue with it. It's certainly not aimed at being a expensive, high tier bourbon or whiskey. That's definitely not the aim of them. They're kind of going at a different market of the travelers. Take this on the road with you when you're going on a hike. Take it on a campfire with you, and it's probably, if you're going on a camping trip and you want to sit around the fire and pass around a bottle, that's a pretty cool bottle to pass around, I guess, once you figure out how the hell to use this freaking stopper. I mean, it does feel fairly tight on there, and it pops off pretty. Oh, okay. So I guess I'm just an idiot, and it does. Okay, I think that's how it's supposed to work. I think it's supposed to stay in these notches, and then you can open and close it. But mine, at least, comes out of these notches very easily. So I think that's where I was having the problem. That's how it's supposed to work. You can flip it on and back and forth, and it stays in the notches, and then it reseals. So it's good for resealing because you can then take it on the road, throw it in your backpack, and it's not going to spill. It can slosh around, be tossed at the campfire to your buddy, and then he can open up, take a swig, and pass it on. So let's try it right out of the bottle, campfire style. So where am I going to put this guy on the tier system? Well, I like the overall concept. I like what they're going here for. It's certainly not geared at being a higher end bourbon. It is what it is. And considering it's a 2 and 4 year bourbon, I would say the nose is better than I would expect it to be. The nose is actually pretty good. It smells like that pancake breakfast with the syrup, the whipped cream on there, some butter. It smells pretty good. Unfortunately, it doesn't go over into the taste as much. You get some sweetness up front with the caramel and the toffee, but it turns into a bitteriness and leaves you with a little bit of butter, which is actually nice on the front of the tongue, but that bitteriness and that young age on there is really evident after you get that first initial sweet surge up front. So, overall, for what it's trying to be, it's not bad. It's certainly not something that I'm going to be, wanting to drink regularly. Maybe if I go camping, I'll save this for that kind of occasion or something along those lines. But as far as going on the tier list, it's definitely drinkable. It's not that it's so bad you can't drink it, so it's not going to be super far down there, but it's going to go today on the C tier for the Mountaineer blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. That's your high rye. I didn't get a ton of rye actually out of it. Maybe a little bit of pepperiness in there, but overall not too much. So definitely a unique bottle, one that probably not a lot of people have on their shelves, so it is cool to have here in my collection, and then maybe take it out on the road someday. So if you guys have had this bottle before, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe to see all the videos coming up in the future, and I'll catch you next time.